I'm here to talk about the trend jumper and how to create a full-time income, whether you're trading Forex, futures, or stocks. I'm the creator of the trend jumper. We're hitting up upon our 3rd year anniversary. And so, again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this strategy with you. It's truly transformed the lives of many traders. We have a user base of over 2,000 strong in over 130 countries. And today we called the trades that I'm going to be showing you live in our live training room, and it's the exact same strategy, same trade plan, same everything from the first day it came out 3 years ago. So it's a real testimony to its diversification and its versatility, as well as its effectiveness and profitability. So let me just jump in by starting really quick, in case you don't know who we are, explaining to you a little bit about myself and the company I work with, NetPicks. I used to be a member of NetPicks. NetPicks was the first actual trade system, the company that I actually bought my first system from, I don't know, 10 years ago. And just randomly, out of the blue, I got a phone call from the gentleman on the right, Brian Short. I guess he heard me chatting with somebody in one of their forums regarding the strategy, and he liked, I guess, the interaction that occurred and asked me if I would come on as a trade coach. And I agreed, of course, because I think it's, what, 9-10 years now since I've been doing this, but one of the things I asked him for right away was the ability to host and moderate a trade room using their strategy. Okay, so, you know, the first day I'm calling live trades in the Russell E-mini, and I think we lost 17 ticks that day, and the 150 people in the room weren't so happy, and the next day I think about 50 people showed up, and of course we won on that day and proceeded to make about 156 points that year trading a single contract in the Russell and very limited trading using their strategy. So on my 1-year anniversary, instead of losing 17 ticks, I actually made 17 ticks, and it was vindication. But the one thing I realized at the time was the enormous responsibility of calling live trades for a number of people who are relying on them being accurate and winnable, and calling enough winners to create a positive outcome in the end. And since then, I haven't looked back, and I've actually developed 3 major strategies and several minor ones, the 7 Summits Trader being my first major breakthrough, and that was a strategy I used for a couple years, and that led to the trend jumper. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. That's me on the left, and this is some of my team that I work with. Will Feibel there on my right is a brilliant programmer who took my ideas and actually turned them into computer code so that you can see the trades right on the chart. So let me just get through a few of these slides, and then I will jump right to the charts and show you the trend jumper. I'm going to teach you about 85% of the strategy. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you a free trend jumper strategy for you to download, no obligation, yours for life. There's actually 3 versions. You'll be able to day trade a Forex market, swing trade a Forex market, and day trade the Dow E-mini using a custom version of the trend jumper. And our hopes is you'll love it so much that you'll want to learn more about it and get the full-blown strategy. And that's kind of been how it's worked for the last few years. All right, so trend jumper, first of all, you could use it for futures day trading. That's what we mostly do in the trade room. You could Forex day trade, and of course swing trading, whether you're trading Forex, stocks, even futures, but of course we know swing trading futures requires quite a large account, so we typically focus on day trading futures. Okay, so what I want to show you is a strategy where you only need a single chart. Okay, it's going to give you your entries, your targets, your stops, how to manage the trade once you're triggered in. There's no guesswork. This is how you trade for a living, guys. All these trades fit into an overall trade plan. So every market we trade, we have a well thought out trade plan that gives you a start time, a stop time, how many trades you should take, and a real hint here, a real clue, is that less is usually more, because what we learned is if you really want to make money and develop a long-term income trading, the less trades you take, in our opinion, and what we've shown over and over again, the better off you are. And the reason why is because as you grow your account and as your capital grows, Instead of trading more, all you do is move your finger over from the number 1 to the number 2, and you double up your position size. And as your account continues to grow, you move up to the 3, and so forth and so on. And if you just treat it like a business, you only need to trade a little bit each day, and then you can turn off the computer, go about, enjoy your day, and that's really what we're all about here at NetPicks. Get out, get done, and then go do something you really love to do. About lifestyle for yourself. You want your trading to support a great lifestyle rather than have to cater your lifestyle to support your trading. Okay, and that's a real important concept that I want you guys to think about as I show you the rest of the presentation. Okay, so basically, business-like approach using best practices, and these are all concepts that we employ in the live trade room each and every day. We're always talking about them, and they show up in our trade plans. Okay, so what exactly is the trend jumper? Apart from being very versatile, as I showed you, it's extremely easy to use. When I go to the charts in a moment, I'm going to show you a strategy where I changed nothing. I literally am putting it on each chart. We're trading it the exact same way, and it's one of those kinds of strategies that's based on pure price action, so it's never going to stop working. As long as the market moves, the trend jumper works. And if you stick to a smart trade plan, you can easily grow your account and become very successful. Okay, but the best thing of all is you get to learn it once and then use it for a lifetime. Okay, and that's the important thing, because you don't want to have to keep learning a new strategy for a new market every time the one before stopped working. Okay, like I said, it's pure price action, but one of the things that makes it work so well is that it is constantly tuning itself dynamically to live market conditions, and that'll make more sense when I show you the charts. Think of this. For long trades, imagine jumping off of a trampoline, okay? And when you spring upwards and get to that apex, that highest point before you start coming back down, you reach out and you grab that high percentage profit, okay? So that's kind of why it's called the trend jumper. It's the signature trade. And of course, shorts usually go quite a bit further, and oftentimes it's just like jumping out of an airplane, but the same principle applies. And the springiness of that trampoline is delineated. It's going to show up on your chart with a very unique indicator called the jump line. And that jump line is an amazing momentum indicator that's constantly tuning itself to market conditions as we put our trade setups together. So one trampoline might be tighter in one particular case than maybe even just a few moments later when it might be a little bit looser because market conditions have changed. So it's always tuning itself. It's amazing how it works like that. Okay, and again, you can use it for all kinds of trading. I've even heard of traders that use it for weekly charts, putting on real slow long-term positions with a variety of Forex pairs, and you can do that as well. It's extremely dynamic. Okay, so who is this good for? I mean, if you're just learning how to trade, this is a great way to start, because you're going to learn habits the proper way the first time. There's nothing worse than having to unlearn bad habits, okay? And there's something about bad habits that starts this destructive cycle of losses for a lot of traders. So we want to start you out correctly. And so if you're a beginner, this is fantastic. But if you already know how to trade and you've already kind of experienced the market and you got a lot of chart time and market time, this is going to work great for you too, because gone are the days and the need to look at a bunch of charts and a bunch of indicators that's going to cause you to go cross-eyed, get that deer in the headlights, too much information issue where one thing contradicts another and you don't know if you should stop or go long or order a pizza, right? So it's important to know that you start from ground zero, whether you're a serious beginner, intermediate, or an advanced trader. Okay, I've talked to you about all the markets you can trade. I'll show you some stock examples. You could literally use the symbols on the chart and take the buy levels and the target levels and the stop levels and use it to buy simple calls and puts and trade like that. It's very effective. Okay, it works on Tradestation, NinjaTrader, and MetaTrader 4. And the free trend jumper that I'm going to give you at the end of this session will work on either one of those as well. Okay, and it comes with full training, by the way, so you get it all for free. All right, so if you're looking for action, you can get a lot of trades, lots of setups. a lot, like I said, you don't really need that, but maybe you want to trade a variety of different markets and get good diversification. This is fantastic for that. And of course, simplicity. All you have to do is look at one chart and it's all there in front of you. Okay, so ultimately, it's those who want that great lifestyle. For me, I typically trade anywhere from 2 minutes to an hour, depending on the market. But I'm usually done in, say, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. I've usually hit my goals. And do I need to keep trading? No. Do I want to keep trading? Sometimes. But I could always come back at the end of the day, look at my swing charts, and place some trades in the comfort of a market that's slowed down or closed and getting ready to open again down under. I could place a few swing trades and then go out in the backyard and fire up the grill. So that's a nice lifestyle, and it's an easy way to trade. Why pressure yourself? All right, so now that I've kind of set the stage, let's just jump to the charts and let me give you a quick demo of the trend jumper, okay? My intention is to teach you 85 to 90% of the entire strategy in the next few minutes. And I'm going to start by leading out with this chart right here. First of all, let me just show you. There's a lot of charts here, and the reason why I chose all these charts is because I think it's a good cross-section, good diversification, and represents a lot of the markets that people like to trade. There are other markets this will work on, of course, but here's one many of you probably haven't thought of, and it's a great way to learn the trend jumper. This is heating oil futures. And what I love about it is it really demonstrates the power of the strategy. This is a trade plan that's been going for years. It usually starts right at 9 a.m. Okay, so this morning in the trade room, right at 9 a.m., which is right here, you could see that it's kind of choppy. And the first trade actually takes a loss. Okay, this little plus sign represents the entry, and this stop represents the stop. That's a losing trade, okay? And these are some targets. So let me explain to you the second trade that actually put this plan positive for the day. All right, so first of all, let me call your attention to the green dotted line. The green dotted line is the jump line, okay? And I see a quick question. Let me answer Jim's question, 9 a.m., what time zone? Okay, one standard thing I always do, Jim, is set all my charts to exchange time, because I'm dealing with traders all over the world, and there's exchanges at different time zones, some in Chicago, New York, the Eurex in Europe, obviously. This is traded out in New York, so it's Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and so we're going to trade a handful of trades. Oftentimes, we're going to get our winner in our very first trade. Sometimes it takes more than one. Okay, but as I show you, obviously no one can predict price action. Some trades are going to lose, but a losing trade, if it fits into a winning trade plan, where we make money is a result of the trade plan. So we want to put on very small risk, be very responsible, only risk 2% of our account on any given trade, and let our account grow. And then that 2% obviously represents a larger position as you continue to grow your account. But like this, when you do take a losing trade, it's like getting kicked in the shins a little. You're never going to lose your legs. You're left standing to take the next trade. Okay, so it's really important to not over leverage if you seriously want to survive, if you seriously want to end up developing a large enough position to create a full-time income for yourself. And when I say full-time income, remember, I'm talking about full-time income with part-time trading. All right? So the green dotted line, that's our springy jump line, and you can see that it's representing a market here that's really flat, and there's a reason we don't trade prior to 9 a.m. Okay, this market took a few more minutes to get started. Here we are at 9:17. When you see a little plus sign below the bar, that means it's going to be a short trade. Okay, if it's above the bar, it's a long trade. Notice it's also below the jump line. All right, so what the jump line is doing is it's finding near-term support and resistance levels. It's this really cool moving line in the sand between buyers and sellers. So typically when we get confirmation, which is represented by this faster jump line, we call it a confirmation line, going from above to below, we're able to take this short trade. The plus sign is your entry. When you click on the bar, you get the entire trade right here in the data window. It gives you your entry, your targets, and your stop. Okay? Plan your trade, trade your plan. The whole thing is planned. not only do we know what our trade is going to be, and you'll notice there's a stop on every single trade, is that we also know what to do as the trade progresses. So the typical trade plan is that when you get to target 1, you're going to move your stop from here down to here, and you're going to lock in a tick that's going to cover your costs. So then you're in a free position. One of the things a trend jumper wants to do is put you in a risk-free position as often as possible. So basically that's its first goal, and that means it has to hit target 1. Another thing that we see with trend jumper is this favorable risk-reward ratio on a majority of the trades. See, we're going to take profit at that second target, okay, with half our position. The other half of the position will trail the jump line. Okay, like I said, it's a powerful momentum indicator, so as long as we're trailing it, we can ride it for a big move quite often, and that's what I love about heating oil. So I put these 2 lines here because I want you to visualize the space between them. That's how much you're risking. It's obviously relative to the market you're trading and how big of a position you're placing, but it's always the same. Okay, entry to stop, that's your risk. All right, notice from entry to our target, it's quite a bit larger, isn't it? Our risk-reward ratio is typically favorable on just about every trade that we're going to take. That's just about 2 to 1 right there. So if you lose a trade, it only takes 1 winner and you're more than positive, okay? And that's half the battle. Obviously, you'll see that it comes down and hits target 1. Remember, I'm going to show you all the trades from today. Every time I show the trend jumper for the last 3 years straight, I'm showing the same markets we always trade that happen today, because I want to show you not cherry picking trades from the past or whatever. I want to show you the real deal trade plans that we're using for practically 3 straight years now. Okay, this is no joke, guys. So when it goes to target 1, we move our stop down and look at your risk reward ratio now. You don't even have any risk. You're risk free. And here you're taking either 1 position, you could be done with your trade. It's perfectly acceptable. If you want to trade 2 positions, you're now trailing the jump line. So as every bar closes below the jump line, the stop is going to follow it down. This one actually ends up, I don't know if it stopped out there, 92. This is going to go to 96 because of the rules that we follow. We always work around 5s and 0s. This bar stabbed up to 94. You see? So it never stops out. It doesn't go to 96. This is all taught in training. There's a reason we work around 5s and 0s. That keeps us in the trade. Now, you could also add to your position. As you get more advanced, and especially Forex traders, and I'll show this to you when we look at some swing charts, you could build a position, right? When you have a market that was going to go and go for a long time in the same direction, like we see with Forex, Forex giving us the flexibility of being able to customize our position size, right? With the creative use of micros and minis and full size, we can customize our position size. Trend Jumper is going to show us additional strategic places where we can literally put on trades, and they're going to work exactly the same way. So it's identifying another jump trade off the trampoline, right? So if you miss this one, you can always get in there, or you can add your position. But the original trade's still going, and it's going down and down. Just pull this down just so you can visualize. It ends up stopping out right in here. That's a 185 tick move. And the target was 35 ticks. Okay? So basically, what's that? It's like a $924 trade with 2 positions. It's only $4.20 a tick. So this is the kind of market you don't have to have a huge account to trade. And it's another reason why we like heating oil futures. All right? So you know what? I just taught you a majority of the trend jumper. All right? There's some additional trades, obviously, but we're done. We don't need to keep trading. We're trading to move our account forward each and every day. We utilize a concept called POQ, power of quitting. It's an important concept. Remember, you don't have to trade more to make more money. Usually you trade more, you lose more money. You trade less to make more money. Okay, it's a very important concept. That's why we call this the power of quitting. Now, if you want to trade more, then use the same concept on other markets and get diversification, like this morning's Dow E-mini. We use a 377 tick chart. Now you're going to see a lot of setups, and it looks like it's you know, the jump line's really calling this all the way down, right? But we start at 832, and at 832, there's a possible trade to get into, but then we get a new setup right here. You guys see that? Right at 832. So in the trade room, I'm telling everyone, hey, we got a setup. We're going to go short here at 17,595, but I recommend you adjust your entry to 594, get it off that 5. Okay, so everyone's hearing this. Everyone who's trading the YM, placing the trade, comes down, hits target 1. So what do? We move our stop down and lock in 1 tick. Comes down, hits the second target. We take our profit, just like I showed you on heating oil. Trail the jump line all the way down, and it ends up stopping out right in here. It's a big trade, beautiful trade, and we're done. Do we need to keep trading? Of course not. We're done. Like this, we take what the market wants to give us, we move our account forward on a day-to-day basis, we grow equity, and we just increase our position size accordingly as we grow our account. I'll show you another one we did today in the trade room. We do this every day. The Russell E-mini starts right at 9:30. This is a 1-point momentum bar, and we're only isolating one of the types of trades with trend jumper. That's why you don't see there's jump trades in here, but this trade plan is very, very simple. It uses a momentum-based trade. We're using a momentum bar, and the first setup comes right here at 9:35, 5 minutes after the open. Triggers in. Target 1, move your stop down to lock in a tick. Target 2, 17 ticks. Trail the jump line, and you're pretty much done. It trails down to here, and you're done with the trade. One and done. If you're trading and you want to trade multiple markets and you're one and done with crude oil, one and done with the YM, one and done with heating oil, one and done with the Russell, you're trading 4 markets, a single trade, and getting incredible diversification. Each one of these presenting its own unique statistical edge with a trade plan that's been proven over many years, right? Almost 3 years now. Okay, and Reed will attest that I'm showing you what I showed you when I did the last webinar for inspiration webinars, investor inspiration, right? This is the same stuff I'm showing you. I haven't changed anything. All right, so let me quickly show you some Forex. Every day we do the Euro-Yen. We use a 5-minute chart. It's a little bit customized to accommodate the fact that it's a time-based chart. So far I've been showing you momentum bars and tick charts. This is a 5-minute chart. The first trade of the day, you could see we started 8:20, by the way. That's back in here. There's a long trade, never triggers in. The short trade never triggers in. The one that triggers in is a long trade, and look how small it is. We have a special rule with Forex that we need our trades to be a certain size because we have to deal with spread. So while it looks like this came up, hit target 2, remember you can take profit at each of these targets. We usually go to 2 and 3 with this chart. It just missed target 3. Instead of taking a little 7 or 9 pip profit, we just move our stop to break even, and it comes down and stops out at break even. So we're waiting for one more trade. Power of quitting with trend jumper, you need a full target winner. Okay, again, here are some trades. Look at how it navigates through this choppy part of the session here. The only trade it gave you was a break-even trade. All the other setups canceled. They never triggered in. Finally, you get a short. You're still within the trade plan time. This is a nicer size trade going from 80, we'll get in at 79, down to 61, and down to 54, right? Just rounding up that extra digit. That's a decent size trade, and that was the trade that hit our power of quitting goal. Target 2, take your 16 pips, move your stop down, lock in a pip. Target 3, another 23 pips. Do we need to keep trading? Here's the trailer didn't get very far. Through this entire choppy session, we're able to come up with 39 pips of profit with 2 trades, and we're done. We're done for the session. All right, so let me just jump in. I got a question about USO, and yeah, you could see the USO chart. Let's look at that for a second because this is a swing trade chart. I usually like to show you Forex. You could see how when crude oil and oil in general just fell off the cliff the last few days, this is a daily chart. So at the end of the day, you got a short setup right here. Do you have to learn anything new? Well, you might want to put on a put option for one, So you just look at the entry, 1898, and you buy a slightly in the money put, get one with enough time on it, because these are daily charts. And then as the price pushes down, you could take profit here, you could take profit here, and if your option has enough time on it, you can trail the jump line. This trade's still going, obviously, but you're able to, obviously, in just 2 days, it's already, boom, it's hit that nice profit. Look at the risk-reward ratio, right? Risking this much, and you're never going to lose the full value of your option, because if it does come and stop out, you just resell your option back to the market and capture whatever premium remains. You're never holding the option till expiration. These trades move too fast for that. So you don't even lose your whole option. This is a great way to trade. But check out what Trend Jumper did. We know the historic drop-off, right? When crude oil was way up here. Look at how it was able to get short. There's definitely a couple losses in here, but then it makes it up with some really nice big winners. You can buy puts here, here, all the way down, basically, and capture the huge move, of course. This was that historic move down. And it's, by the way, I customize a lot of these charts, but for this demonstration, all I did was copy heating oil and pasted it and changed the symbol. So you can certainly customize this, and I teach you how to do it in training, because I think you'd probably want to put on a slightly larger stop, a slightly bigger breakout for the entry, and slightly bigger targets to get better results. But I just wanted to show you the power of just copy and paste simplicity, because that's kind of how I let out with this, you know, in teaching this in the first place. All right? So that, all I did was copy and paste, and you could do that, and you can really see quickly if a market's going to work or if a market's not going to work. Okay? You might look at it and go, oh my God, that looks terrible. Yeah, all right, let's look at something different. So that's what's really great about this too, is a quick visualization. All right, so let me just show you, well, I got to show you this. My favorite way to trade Forex, I showed you the day trade, but swing trading, Forex, where literally you're spending 3 to 20 minutes a day, depending on how many pairs you follow. It's phenomenal. And the reason why is because you can take advantage of the power of Forex, the longer term trends, and the ability to tailor your position size. So just this little group of trades right in here, you do have a couple false starts, okay, a couple losing trades. You have a partial winner right here, comes down, hits target 1, almost hits target 2, all right? So we're going to take some off as it comes back up around the jump line, but then it really starts cooking. You could take profit at target 1, target 2, target 3, and trail. This yellow trade, you can see 243 pips. I mean, target 1 is practically a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio, 1.5 to 1, 2 to 1. So why not peel off and take some profit? That's 1,351 total pips and a 244 trailer. The add-on trade doesn't get to target 3, but it's still worth 836 pips. The next one, 1,150 pips. And look how accurate. I mean, the targets are usually pretty darn good. And then when I showed this at the last webinar I did, this was just triggering in. Okay, so that wasn't that long ago. A week and a half ago. Look, it came up. It's already hit 343 pips. This trade, unfortunately, got caught up in a little bit of noise. It did stop out. However, one of the things you learn is how to make tiny little artistic moves. We like to call it the 5% art to trading. If it's not too big of an adjustment, you still have a nice risk-reward ratio, you can adjust your stop down around that little spike on the left, because remember, the jump line, price action is king. It's always showing us near-term support and resistance, and so you could actually save yourself if you make that little maneuver. For look at how accurate the target is. But I'm still considering that a loss when I put it in my spreadsheet, just to be fair. But anyway, these are the kind of things that I'm going to teach you how to trade. But what I'm showing you here is exactly what I showed you with all the other examples. There's really nothing else to learn other than the actual trade plan itself. So I've got a few minutes left. Let me show you how you can get involved with Trend Jumper. I want to give you the links, and I also want to make sure I get all the questions answered. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to put them in. Some of the markets to start with or to focus on, of course, I showed you some of them. You might be interested in natural gas. The NQ could be good. Wheat futures, soybeans is great. We do that soybeans 5-tick momentum bar in the trade room every day. With day trading Forex, you really don't need more than the euro yen. Sure, you can trade other pairs, but I would rather see you swing trade Forex and day trade futures. I showed an example in a recent webinar. All the trades, I think it was the first, for 2014, 11 and a half months. I quit midway through November to travel. You would have made close to 30% return just trading single positions throughout the whole year with the strategy. But if you would have incorporated what I'm suggesting, add to your position size as you grow your account using a money management strategy that we teach, that if you would have started with just $2,000 trading micro lots in 2014, this one day trade plan, the one I showed you, would have grown over $15,000 just by leveraging up. And most of that money was made in the final third, because as you grow your account, the positions get bigger, you make more money faster, you put on bigger positions. And that one micro lot would have grown to 1.73 full-size lots, and multiply that by 3, one for target 3, target 2, target 3, and trail, right? So basically $2,000 into $15,000. And I'd be happy to show this in the live trade room. People ask me about this all the time, and I show them exactly how that happened. And like I said, you saw today it made 39 pips, the same trade plan. Anyway, other markets, of course, a lot of different swing trade pairs, and then a lot of the under-the-radar markets. Unleaded gas is another really good one, and of course, I didn't show you the DAX futures, but that's probably one of the best day trading markets that exists. But of course, if you live in Europe, basically it starts at 2 a.m. New York time, so I'm on the West Coast. Unfortunately for me, that's not going to work for me. But a lot of you might want to trade at night instead, and if so, that's a viable option. It's extremely profitable. Tons of testimonials, hundreds and hundreds. Put a few in here. You want to take a little bit of time to read them, but what I really want to do is jump to how you can get involved with the trend jumper, because this is a 1-hour presentation. I'm trying to smash it in to 45 minutes, but as you can see, there's just all these are real unsolicited testimonials. All right, so if you get the trend jumper, you're going to get everything for life, all the software, all the training, nuts to bolts, okay? You get it delivered to your door. You also get to download it right away. Okay? Trade plans, Forex, futures, everything you need. You get the live trade room on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Usually we charge $177 a month, but I'm going to waive that and give this lifetime Owners Club for free. Okay? That's worth $177 a month. You get it for free. But I'm also going to throw in free shipping. And for the first 5 that get the trend jumper, that actually buy the full trend jumper, I'm going to give you a VIP bonus, which is 2 extra days in the trade room, Mondays and Wednesdays. So 4 days a week. And I'm also going to give you a free 1-hour coaching call where you can talk anything you want trading, develop a trade plan, set up trend jumper on your computer, anything you want. And remember, it's not just Lifetime Owners Club. I'm throwing in the VIP, which is an extra $100 a month. Absolutely free, no charge, yours for life, okay? And some advanced training that I also uploaded on the Owners Club. Total bonus value is worth more than the strategy itself, $2,700, okay? One-time payment, all in, $997 for the full version of the trend jumper. You could also get the easy 3-pay for as little as $367 a month for 3 months. You can own the trend jumper for life. Everything I showed you, the trade room, you're going to learn from the best, you're going to learn how to trade this, and you're going to be able to develop that full-time income with the trend jumper. Let me also put in the free trend jumper. I'm going to put it into the chat right now. Well, first of all, I guess I should give you the link. This is the one you want, the top one, okay, because you get MetaTrader anyway. This link I should have taken off the slide. We don't use it anymore. netpicks.com/TJLife. That tells us you're getting the bonus for life. So you type that in. The first 5 get the VIP upgrade free for life. All right, so take advantage of this offer. There's a $500 discount off the typical price of $14.97. Now for the free trend jumper, for those of you who still aren't convinced, that's fine. I'm not really here to sell you anything. I just put it out there for whoever wants it. But if you want to have, let's see, where should I put this? The chat, I guess. Okay, so look in your chat box, and there is the link for the free trend jumper, guys. Okay, that's going to give you a trade plan for the Dowie Mini, a day trade, a 15-minute chart for Forex, and an end-of-day chart swing trade plan, custom designed, and that's free with all the training and the indicators. And then if you are interested in getting the full trend jumper and taking advantage of this great offer, here's the link for that as well. Okay, so could you guys see that? Let me know if you could type in the question box that you guys can see those links. I want everyone to at least get the free one. Okay, and I hopefully I encouraged you enough to take advantage of the full trend jumper, and you could start trading with us. I mean, you could literally get in the trade room this week or starting Monday at the very latest if you'd like. All right, so let's see, a couple questions here. Does this work with indices? Well, when you say indices, are you referring to the Russell E Mini? I'm not sure if you're referring to you know, what kind of indices. But if the market can be traded and the price moves, then trend jumper is either going to work or it's going to quickly show you it just to pass. Sometimes it's just about finding the right time frame. So it could be a chart maybe doesn't work on a 5-minute chart, but you look at a 377 tick or a 233 or some other type of chart, and it's like that's the sweet spot. So always looking for sweet spot charts. It's extremely versatile. What about stock trade plans? Tons. They're all in the Owners Club. A lot of them have been customized. But one of the things I did show you was the USO. We didn't really look at others just because I had to cram a lot into a short amount of time. But let me also put my email, because if anybody is interested in talking about this more, in fact, let me put this in right here so you guys have it. I'd be happy to get with you, and I could even arrange for free time in the trade room so you can kind of see this in action and ask your questions in live time. So we could actually look at real markets, real charts when they're actually happening. So I just answered TradeMe's question there with my link. Reed, I don't know if you could pop that into the chat for me, tjnoon@netpicks.com. Okay, and James doesn't see it. So James, let me put that in to the question box. There's two chat boxes. There's the question chat box, and then there's the chat box. So James, I just put that next to your name here. Hopefully you could see that. I'm interested in the full version. Jackie, did you get the link? I'm going to put this next to your question. netpicks.com/TJ full. And if you have my email for whatever reason, if you have an issue, contact me. If you have any questions, send them my way. I will definitely take care of you. And I want to know that you did get this too, so that I can make sure that I want to verify you get the VIP upgrade. Okay. What is the link for the free download for trial? James, did you see it now? Hopefully you see it. Yes, thank you, thank you. Does it work on ECN platforms? Elizabeth, it works on Tradestation, NinjaTrader, and MT4. Jeremy asking, doesn't work on Thinkorswim, and unfortunately it won't, and the reason why is because the software for Thinkorswim is not capable. It just can't do it. However, let me say this to you. I trade with Thinkorswim, but I use Tradestation charts, and I didn't get to the full thing here. There's a 45-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. So you get to try it anyway, and Tradestation will pay you to get the trend jumper. They're literally going to pay you 150% in commission rebates, and they'll give you the platform for free. So you could go to Superior Charts but still trade with any broker you want. Like I said, I trade with Thinkorswim. TradeMe says not for Canadians. You'd probably want to use NinjaTrader. So it works great with NinjaTrader also. I don't know what TC2000 is. But like I said, Tradestation, if you ever wanted to change to a superior platform, they're going to pay you. They'll buy for you the trend jumper and give you even 50% more. FXCM, yeah, well, with MetaTrader 4 for sure. And I think you can plug NinjaTrader into FXCM. So yes on FXCM. Does it have trade analysis? I'm not sure what you mean by trade analysis. The trade plans have been created, but I also teach you how to do it yourself. And I'll teach you the steps on how you can do your own analysis using the trend jumper method. I'm not sure I understand that question, Dan, but if you want to re-ask. But I'm kind of out of time here. Reed, I'm not sure if I have a few minutes of leftover time or what, but I don't see any other questions. So give you guys another minute to make sure you get those questions in. What do you think is the minimum to start with the trend jumper? Gurn, it depends on the market, but I think if you're going to trade futures, you're probably looking at a $5,000 or more. I think $7,500 is better. And like I showed you on that Euro-Yen day trade, a $2,000 account would have turned into a pretty large account following our simple money management plan. So you could trade small, just start off with Forex. You could trade micros. And as far as lower, I mean, you could trade as low as you want, but you know, a micro is 10 cents a pip. So if you're risking 20 pips on a trade, you just kind of have to do the math backwards. You never want to risk more than 2% of your account. So obviously you want to have as much as possible, but that doesn't mean you have to risk more. Okay? So you always trade small even if you have a large account is what I say.
Troy, we are out of time. I think we have time for about one more question.
Okay, so let's see. Do we have any more questions? I don't see any more questions. So you guys have my email, right? Dan, the trades are not automated. The trades are placed manually. It's like semi-automation because you see them pop up. I teach you how to set bracket orders using ladder or matrix. And then if you want to upgrade, we do offer an upgrade path to a bigger version. We call it the PTU, the Premier Trader University offers a automated version as well, and that's something that becomes available after you learn the trend jumper because we want you to learn it correctly. Okay, but we usually use that just for research more than anything.